Hi again, Michael here of the Strategic Advisor Board and owner of Sipe Coaching and Consulting, where I help entrepreneurs find a greater sense of life satisfaction. All right, on today's episode of Empowered Leadership, I've got 5 tips to become more self-aware. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why do I need to be more self-aware? As long as I'm aware of what's going on at work and I'm running my business and I'm doing well, then I don't need to be self-aware. Well, that could be, but most people, in order to become a better leader, need to be aware of where they are from a professional and personal development perspective. And especially on the personal side, that means us being aware of how we respond to various situations or how we behave. And that is critical. And so when we want to be aware of that, that's becoming self-aware. So let's talk about some 5 ways we can do that. Number 1 is write down your key plans and priorities. So if you have some goals for the year, maybe you want to get to the point where you've hired a certain number of employees so that you are meeting your overall goals. Well, that hiring process that you might be doing, you might be heavily involved in that yourself. And so there's some personal skills that you're going to need to do so. So in order to reach that goal, you need to maybe work on improving your personal skills. So that's an example of that. Another thing that Benjamin Franklin did is he said his personal net worth was attributable to the personal skills he thought were assets and those that he thought were sort of liabilities. And so he would do is try to increase his assets over time. Another thing we can do is we can meditate. We can spend some quiet time, maybe before we go to sleep at night, or maybe just during the day. And it can be very short, just a few seconds, or it can be a longer period of time. And we can ask ourselves just to slow down. And then what are some things we accomplished today? What are some things we felt good about for the day? How could we maybe have done something better? And so being reflective in a quiet period is a form of meditation. Now you can go much deeper, obviously, in meditation, but just doing the simple stuff of being reflective, probably at the end of the day when our beta brainwaves have slowed down and we're moving into alpha brainwave states, it's a good time for us to meditate. Another thing we can do is we can ask trusted friends or colleagues for feedback. Meaning like, hey, if I'm doing something wrong, would you let me know, please? Another thing we can do is we can get regular feedback at work. So we might do 360 assessments and plan for it on once a year, at the end of the year, beginning of the year, whenever. You can have the HR department, or you can have an outside consultant come in. At the Strategic Advisor Board, that's something that we do is we come into businesses and we can provide some assessments. And one of them is the Energy Leadership Index assessment, which I do. And it's a great tool because not only does it give you reflective feedback of how you are doing from a thought and actions and emotions perspective, that's your personal energy, but what other people might do and think about you. And that's the 360 piece where you can get seniors and juniors reporting on you. All right, the 5th tip here is to take those psychometric tests. So you can take a Myers-Briggs type indicator test to understand what kind of a person you are. Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? You can also take the Clifton Strengths Finder, or now called Gallup's Strength Finder Index, and look at the strengths you might have. Those are the type of tests that give you some insight into what type of a person you are. And of course, I think one of the best ones is the Energy Leadership Index assessment. It is a great leadership tool, and it evaluates the different energies we have, not only on day-to-day stuff, but when we have those stressful times. And how we perform under stress is a lot different than how we perform under calm moments. All right, those are the 5 tips: writing down your key plans and priorities, meditating, asking trusted friends or colleagues for some feedback, get regular feedback at work in a planned way, and then take some psychometric tests. All right, I hope you found those 5 tips helpful for you. And if you did find it helpful, please click the like button down below. And if you want to hear more about the Energy Leadership Index assessment, please reach out to us at the Strategic Advisor Board. Reach out to me at Sipe Coaching and Consulting, where we can definitely help you get that assessment. All right, thanks for watching and have a great day.